All right, this is my final for diversity in the classroom. This is my art project. So I made this cute little fortune teller, and it's got different skin tones on it. Sorry, I don't know if my thing's recording. It's got different skin tones on it. So I've got this like yellowish tint skin tone, this reddish, this brown, and this pinkish, very pale color. So this represents the students that I might have in my classroom. I don't know who I'm going to get in my classroom. You never know. And so with this, I made this kind of fortune teller, and on this inside flap, it's got societal stereotypes that students may hear before they ever enter my classroom. I plan on teaching middle school, so that's at least 10 years of hearing cultural and racial stereotypes before students ever enter my classroom. So on the inside, I have like terrorists or motel owners, pet eaters. This other side says, this one, Nazis and racists and unprofessional and crazy. And I have those written on like corresponding skin tones, because those are kind of like things that I have heard said about other people of different races and ethnicities. And then I've also got alien and illegal and some dumb blondes, lazy and stupid. This one, I'm going to switch my hand around again. This one says gamblers, back to aliens and illegal. So these are like stereotypes that students may hear before they like just outside of my classroom. So yeah, here we go. Here's that. And then on the very inside, these are things that I can do in my classroom to promote positivity and welcoming cultural differences. So I could be respectful of name pronunciations. It does not take very long to get the pronunciation of somebody's name correct. I shouldn't need to be told more than twice. That's kind of my rule for myself. And then we have respectful of gender identity. Students at the middle school level are discovering who they are, especially now. I feel like it's more welcoming than it has been in the past, and I think students are more exposed to that. And it could be my job to help be welcoming of those. Another thing I could do is express interest in student culture, student background, students' interests, and just get to know who my students are. Another one I've got is respectful and mindful of the learning differences. Not everybody learns the same way I do. And sometimes I forget that, which is something that I really need to work on. But not like there's many learning differences, and I can be mindful of that and try to incorporate that in my classroom and in my teaching. We can include diversity in lesson plans. We can do culturally inclusive classroom discussions. I'm teaching math, so like I could do word problems with people of different cultures and use different things like that, as long as they're respectful. Another one I have is building confidence. I want students to be confident in who they are as people, their culture, and I just want them to be confident people. And I think that I can help radiate some of my confidence onto my students. And then I think this is the last one I have, and the top one is advocacy. I've worked in schools for 2.5 years, and that's my number one thing that I focus on with my students, because I worked with special education students primarily, and I want my students to advocate for themselves. I want them to learn advocacy for them, and then they can translate that and advocate for other students, or later in life they can advocate for people in the workplace or their children or whoever they're in contact with whenever they see injustices going on. So that's one of my biggest things that I have focused on in the past is advocacy. And then respect for backgrounds, which was mentioned earlier, but I thought it needed its own little spot on my my fortune telling thing. I thought this was a great idea because the fortune thing is you never know who you're going to get in your classroom, and you never know what they're going to hear before they ever enter your classroom, and ultimately they're all tied together. There's all these different genders and ethnicities and cultures, and they all come together in my classroom, which I think is kind of represented by my fortune teller. Yeah, I tried to come up with something positive relating society and education and diversity, but ultimately I can't find a positive to relating society with diversity and education. So that's why I have some negative societal sayings and derogatory stereotypes on here, because I think that's a lot of what society portrays. So here this is.